it's the bye week, and there's not a lot going on. I thought this would be a time of like peace and harmony among Niner fans. They just beat the Rams. Times are good. It looks like they might be righting the ship, but one Rams writer wrote one tweet that has sent the Niners fan base into full-blown civil war, unlike anything I've ever said. And so he must have struck a nerve. So here's what he said, and I'd like to take – I have a question for you. What he said is – this is Blaine Grissick. Shout out Blaine Grissick for pissing everyone off. Name a fan base more happy about wins in the regular season than the 49ers, ... I'll wait, period. Gotta love it. So my question is, like, let's not talk about Niner fans just yet. I want to talk about the Niners. This Niners team that's been together much longer than your average NFL team in the salary cap era. I mean, they've been running it back for like 4 years in a row. This is revenge toward 3.7. My question is, does this 49ers team, the players and the coaches on this team, do they beat their chests a little too much after wins in the regular season?
I think you can make an argument for it, but the one thing that I will say, I know you will. The one thing that I'll point to is last season, right? In the second half of the year, the 49ers went 7-2 to end that kind of stretch to make the playoffs. So in a way, even if they beat their chest too much, they are able to gain that momentum to sustain a long stretch enough to win games. Now, that's a
good point.
Those are regular
Which is all that
season
matters.
games.
Which is all that matters.
Said,
yeah.
Regular season games are all that matters. Like you said, it's a regular season game. The most important games are obviously the playoff games. In 2019, we weren't able to get it done. In 2021, we weren't able to get it done. Now, am I going to say that they beat their chest too much and that's the reason why they lost? I don't think so.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that either. I wouldn't say that.
I don't think this team – I think this team's too emotional and too physical for that to be the reason. But we've also seen them suffer after – like, you've seen them this year lose to the Chicago Bears. You've seen them lose to the Atlanta Falcons. You've seen them lose games that they should have won. And that's the most frustrating part about this Niners team. Every single game this year, you thought they've been in it. You thought they could have won. Even the Chiefs game to an extent. And
it's like why they have these three letdowns. Why'd they have these three letdowns? Because were they reading their press clippings too much? There are no press clippings anymore. But were they too satisfied after like some regular season win? I mean, they came out flat week one. Like, oh, man, we're so much better than Chicago. They suck. Like, no, every team in the salary cap era is like this far apart from each other.
Exactly. Sorry. And I mean, the point is like teams are beatable in the NFL. There are certain teams. And the Niners, I think this year, especially in the recent history, have proven that they can beat any team in the NFL. But as I've said in the last week, they've also proven they could lose to any team in the NFL. And that's a conundrum that they themselves are going to have to figure out, because come playoff time, if you can do either, it only takes one game to lose. It only takes one game to win. That's how I view it. So to me, I think the 49ers are set up for success, but I also think that they need to make sure that they don't overlook the smaller teams, because I know we're going to probably talk about it, but that week 15 game in Seattle, I highlighted that as a trap game earlier in the year. That was my one trap game this season. And that's the one game where we might think, damn, the 49ers definitely should not lose this one.
All right. Well, here's the way I look at it. I feel like this team does beat its chest a little bit too much after regular season games. I mean, they really rubbed it in. I felt like they were really puffing their chest out after this win against the Rams. And I get it. 8 in a row over the Rams. It's a division rival. Absolutely. But just step back for a second, 49ers. Like, you guys are not champions. The Rams are. And the Rams suck now, and they don't have anything to be like puffing their chest out about. But like, you're not champions, but you carry yourself like you are. I mean, that's why I never liked the revenge tour thing. What were they getting revenge on? Oh, you felt you got robbed in the Super Bowl. Nick Bosa got held. You should have won. I mean, they've said these things. We had the best team. You know, they hadn't come out and essentially, they haven't said that Bosa got held, but I know they sent that play to the league. I think they sent that play. I think they feel that Bosa got held. They got robbed. Yeah. No, you didn't, man. You lost by 11. You're not a championship team. And this team that's been together a long time, you're still, what, 2-3 games under 500. So their biggest claim to fame is winning an NFC championship and losing one. So I guess it's hard to point to like how calling it Levi's South. Yeah, man, that's great. You're 4-4. just have that New England Patriots Jimmy Garoppolo mentality of, just another week, on to the next game. You don't have to keep reminding everyone that you're so great. Because frankly, I feel like you're just another team that has, a lot of teams can beat any team and lose to any team in the NFL. That is the salary cap era NFL. And that's exactly the way the owners and the league wants it. Any team has a chance every weekend. I'm sorry. I'm a grumpy old man.
Also, I think when you talk also about the 49ers and in general, like you said, they beat their chests a little maybe after this win. You have to also understand probably the magnitude. This game was as close to a must-win game, but you also now have to tone it down. I think that's why the bye week this week, although George Kittle said, we hope that this bye week is happening, that's why I think the bye week's good, because you settle down and now you have to go into a game against the Chargers. Right,
because the pattern with this team is they haven't been able to – this team, 2022, is they haven't been able to sustain their high level of play. Because for whatever reason, they do it once and they're like, boom, we proved something. Like, no, you're 4-4, and it's just now November. You got to keep it going. They did it last year, but this is a different team with different coaches, and it doesn't mean they'll do it again. They absolutely could, though. So I think to your point, the fact that the bye week's coming now, they don't have to have like another trap game. Or they're like, oh, the Chargers? Oh, man, they're not that good. Their coaches suck. They lost to the Seahawks. They could definitely lose to the Chargers. So take an extra week, catch your breath, take them seriously, and beat the Chargers. Because the Seahawks did. They should. Hey, man, you're muted. You're muted. He's gone. Damn, Rohan. What happened, dog? I'm gonna give him. I feel like he's coming back though. What do you think? Coming back? Man. All right. Well. All right. I'll give him a minute. What are you guys up to these days? Oh, he's back. So how are things? What's up, Rohan?
Hey, no.
What happened?
I don't know. StreamYard just said something went wrong and come back in. So StreamYard,
StreamYard, we're looking at you now.
Yeah, but what you were talking about with the Chargers, right? I think this week is a good settle down week, but I was going to ask you, do you think this game is important for the 49ers to win?
Yeah, absolutely. I do, because to me it seems a game they should win. You're at home. You're coming off a bye week. The Chargers aren't good. Their defense is terrible. They have an excellent quarterback. Will Keenan Allen play? I mean, that could change things. I don't know if he's going to play. He's not going to play this week, it looks like. They should win this game. And they're 1-4. If they lose to the Chargers, they'll be 1-4 outside the NFC West, and you'll start to really ask, like, can this team beat any team they don't know? Because they have all these new coaches, and it seems like they're having a tough time preparing for teams they don't know that well. But they can always look. Hey, can we look at Mike McDaniel's notes for the Seahawks? Okay, sweet. Can we look at his notes for the Rams? All right, sweet. Got that. All right, but it's like, what do we do against the Chargers? What did Mike McDaniel say to do against the Chargers? I don't know. He's not here anymore. You know what I mean? So I'd like to see. Maybe Christian McCaffrey fixes all that. So I don't know.
Maybe. But like you said, it's a mobile quarterback, which isn't something the 49ers have had success with, which is an important thing. And back with a very strong arm. So the 49ers defense is now going to face something that they just faced 2 weeks ago. The most similar quarterback to Patrick Mahomes. They got their asses handed to them. They lost 44-23. Can they reverse that? Can they not give up 44 points? That's, in my opinion, the biggest test, because the defense over there in Los Angeles is that great.
It's not. Do you think that Jason Verrett will get his season debut against his former team and be a factor?
You say Verrett?
Yeah. Do you think Jason Verrett will make his season debut against his former team and be a factor?
I don't know, because we don't know if Verrett's going to play or not. Like, that's the big thing. Like, I saw a report yesterday that Verrett might not play for the remainder of the year. So if he does, it might be like, if he doesn't play for the remainder of the year, the 49ers might be in trouble. I already said, I don't think the 49ers have Super Bowl hopes if Jason Verrett is not going to play this year, because that essentially eliminates it, because teams can just go at Deommodore Lenoir or whoever that is every single game.
Right. That's why the Niners signed Charvarius Ward, to avoid this entire problem. They thought they were going to have two excellent corners, and they did until Emmanuel Mosley went down. And now I think it's really it's asking a lot for Jason Verrett to come off an ACL tear at his age, given all the things he's done before then, all the injuries he's had, and be like, hey, be a lockdown corner in your first game back. Like, when do you ever see players come back from a lengthy, rehab, miss the entire offseason, and then just be utterly dominant their first week back? I don't think it happens.
That doesn't happen. And I mean, that's why I think it's a little interesting that the 49ers are essentially banking their season, banking that secondary on the health of a player who hasn't played in a while. Right. So to me, it's an interesting thing. They didn't make a move at the deadline for a cornerback. That's where I thought they could have gone.
And that's why I didn't like the McCaffrey trade, because McCaffrey's hella good. We just saw that. Everyone should know that Christian McCaffrey's hella good. He's been around. But damn, he doesn't play cornerback. Or maybe he does. I don't know. He plays quarterback, wide receiver. Maybe he could play corner too. He's a hell of an athlete, but they need him to right now. They really do. Damn. Nothing against Diamador, but you were a 5th round pick. Now you have to save the season. And the thing about it, real quick, Rohan's gone again. He'll come back. The thing that kills me about Diamador is when you go from Mosley to Diamador, D'Amico Ryans changes as a defensive coordinator. All of a sudden, he doesn't feel confident calling press man coverage as much. He did against the Rams in the second half. I think a big adjustment D'Amico Ryans made in the second half of that game when he was like, oh, the Rams are trash. I don't have to worry about Ben Skoranek or anyone else other than Cooper Kupp. Why am I playing soft zone coverage and allowing Matthew Stafford to go 17-21 like he did in the first half? That's what's going to happen. He went soft zone coverage as soon as Mosley went hurt and allowed Marcus Mariota to not freaking miss. And then he allowed, who'd they play the next week? Oh, yeah, Patrick Mahomes to just eviscerate him. And then Stafford was going that direction too until Ryans at halftime was like, you know what? I'll just play press man with Diamador Lenore and see what happens. And it worked against the Rams, but will he do that against the Chargers? I don't know. It depends on who the wide receivers are. Rohan, what's up, dog?
Second time StreamYard's cut me off in the last 5 minutes, so I don't understand.
Haters.
Yeah. It's all right. They just gave me the same error message, but if not, then we gonna switch it up next time. But
we gonna switch it up. All right, let's move on. I think maybe it's the topic. I think they don't want us to be too negative about the 49ers.